Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, here with another Transformers Gundam review. This is the third review in my Gundam week. And what's your favorite Gundam series, by the way? I don't know if any of you guys even have a favorite Gundam series. There's a lot of really good ones out there. Personally, my favorite is 08th MS Team. I really like the real robot, uh, ground action fighting, it's just a really great action, really great story. I just really love it. And my favorite mobile suit from that series is actually the MS-08B Gouf Custom. And just a super cool looking kit or figure, just a really super cool looking mobile suit. Really imposing. So the Zeon introduced the Gouf as a basically it was designed to replace the Zaku, and you can see that it shares a lot of design elements with the Zaku. It has almost the same silhouette. It's got two spiked shoulder parts instead of the shield that goes over the one arm on the Zaku. But it's designed to be a little lighter and faster than the Zaku. More for strike and fade type of operations than just kind of an all-out assault. But yeah, it's designed to be quick and maneuverable, and it didn't really. I mean, you see it a few times in Gundam 0079, and then it shows up in the 8th MS Team, and it shows up in the 1 Year War for a bit, but it quickly became replaced when the Dom came out, because that just filled all of their needs and completely surpassed it in terms of what they wanted and what they needed at that time. At that point, a lot of the combat had moved out into space, and the Dom had better space capabilities than the Gouf, and it also had better ground capabilities in a lot of ways, especially over flat ground. So, but this right here is a customized version. This is the version seen in 08th MS Team, piloted by I want to say Chuck Norris, but that's not his name. It's Norris Packard. That's the name. Norris Packard, who, by the way, is an absolute legend. And this mobile suit just had an excellent run in that show. It's completely badass. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is the Robot Damashii version. And it is Robot Damashii is an action figure line that replaced the Mobile Suit in Action figure series. And this series is all focused on posability and action poses and stuff like that. So you can expect this figure to be very posable. In fact, gosh, he's got like a crazy range of articulation just on the neck alone. It's super cool. His neck is on this big double ball joint sort of a thing. Let's get up close on the face here. It's got that. I mean, it's got the mono eye, which is of course important for this mobile suit, but the shape of the hooding for that makes it look like it's got this angry face scowl. You can remove the top of the head, and you can turn this if you want the mono eye looking somewhere else. You can be peeking off to the side, peeking off to the other side. Whoops, that way. You'd be like, get the shifty looks going on. It's a really great feature to have that in an action figure, to have the mono eye be able to look around, because I mean, you see so many shots of the Zeon mobile suits throughout the shows where you've got the guy comes up like this, and then you see the mono, I just kind of like shift over that way without turning the head. It's just absolutely symbolic. So I'm glad that they put that in there. The shoulder armor is on this big like hinge thingamajig. There's like a ball joint with a hinge on the other side. Whoops, I accidentally ripped his whole freaking arm off. Let me stick that back on real quick. So this, by the way, is just connected with a simple peg, and it'll move out a bit. So you can get, even with this armor on, you get a fair amount of posability on it. You should be able to put it in most any pose that you need it to without having the shoulder armor pop off, or at least stay off. And there is there's a range of movement in the shoulder armor itself, so it'll move all around. You've got which, by the way, when you heard that hit down, you can hear that's not PVC, that's actually ABS. And one of the cool things about the Robot Damashii line is it's got PVC in the construction. I think the upper arms, maybe the lower arms, the hands for certain, possibly parts of the leg, I don't know offhand. Yeah, that's PVC. There's a lot of PVC in the construction, but there's a lot of ABS as well, because ABS holds its shape better than PVC, and you can get more precise sculpting it and connections and stuff out of it. Plus, it's got your regular POM for like the joints and stuff like that. It does have a double jointed elbow joint, and you can even see like the pins in there. Like, this is a nice solid joint, typical of Robot Damashii figures. The elbow, the wrist joint, it's got, so the hand is connected on with a little ball, but that's not really meant for posability. It's got a hinge in here, and then you can take that and rotate that hinge around like so. What? Oh, this one doesn't rotate. Does it? I don't think it does. Huh. I guess that one doesn't rotate around to give you side to side. I'm really sorry, guys. I guess it doesn't do that. But it swivels. Oops, that came off again. It's got fairly posable. I mean, it's got like 2 ball joints in this waist section here. And it actually keeps its pose fairly well, considering you've got these PVC conduits that go all the way from this front section all the way to the back. And that's kind of a nice, I mean, they're stiff enough that it allows you to do that. I think that's a great piece of design there. Not a whole lot of rotation though because of that, because these cables only, I mean, they bend, but they don't really stretch. So skirt armors will move around. You've got, this one is like on a little hinge here, and this is on a little hinge here, and then you even got a cut on the back. You can see here on the hip, there's an interesting little design in the way that the leg is designed, so that when it goes forward, it's rotating down basically, so you can get a little more posability on the front. It goes back that far, goes out the full Van Damme. You get your thigh rotation. You have a beautiful double joint in the knee, and this section here is separate, so you can move that to kind of cover up all that mechanism that comes out when you bend the knee. You can just kind of cover that up a bit so it doesn't look so, mechanism-y. Super huge range of posability on the ankles. Like this guy, he does like really good poses. I really like this figure. Like, this figure is fantastic. I mentioned in my Advanced Mobile Suit in Action Zeta review that when the Robot Damashii line first came out, I was like super hesitant of it. But eventually I just completely fell in love with it. And part of it is, I mean, gosh, I used to have a Mobile Suit in Action Gouf. I don't know if it was the Gouf Custom, but And it was an all right figure, but it was, you know, basically par for course for the time. And it wasn't all that posable. And it didn't do as much as you'd hope it would. I mean, but it looked great standing there, but it didn't like get into like, you know, make a sweet pose or anything like that. And this figure just does that like effortlessly. This is, you notice that there are a lot of hard points all over this. This is compatible with all of the extra weaponry that you got with it. Was designed to be a Zaku accessory pack. But you know, you can put those on this one as well. Just a bunch of different stuff that you can do with it. So that's it for posability. This figure actually comes with a large amount of accessories. So first of all, you've got optional hands. You've got a set of hands that are splayed out like this. And we can just stick one of those on for to show that off. And then he comes with a set of closed fists, like so. And I popped his shoulder off again. There we go. Oh, and I popped off part of his face. That's weird. And then he comes with this his little heat sword thing here, which will fit in his partially open hand. Kind of just tuck that into the hand like that and rotate it in place. And when he holds this, I mean, this is part of the reason why the wrist is made to bend like that. So you can get some pretty cool looking sword poses going on here. You got your like, it's super cool. So the heat sword is kind of a typical accessory for the Gouf custom. The original Gouf had like this hand here was like a Gatling thing. And this one doesn't come with that. What it has instead is this Gatling accessory, which will just clip onto here. And so he can be like shooting dudes with this hand and like getting ready to like hack up dudes with his other hand or whatnot. He does come with a shield accessory. Oops. Which is right here. It will attach right onto that. And that's cool. Little shield there. If you've got it with it's not doing the sword thing, come on, get out of there. Go. You do have the option of having basically, it's a lot smaller, but like this is meant to be a functional one. It's meant to be like for show. And you can take this and you can attach on this little bracket here onto the shield. And then that will store in there. So he's got a place to store his shield or his sword. And that's cool. And then if you want, you can like attach on some extra like stuff, you know, to the shield. Okay, I'm sure we all know where this is going. So we can attach on this extra stuff onto the shield. Oh, come on. The sword is, I mean, even though the sword is a lot smaller than the effect sword, it still just feels like it's a little too big for this application. But you can kind of twist it off to the side and it'll fit just fine. And then we can attach onto like a big old gun, so we can have a gun. I know that this part is technically canon that goes onto there and goes onto there, but the connection with this is just terrible. it's super loose. And so I usually take that part off and put it on. So he's got his big gun here to go onto his little gun. But if he has the big gun, then he's going to run out of ammo soon. So let's swap out this for this hand right here. So if we attach on, let me see, we've got, I just lost it. Where'd it go? So if we attach on this here onto the shield, and then he's got this bracket that comes onto here. All right, now let's go on this way. And then that folds up. Does it fold down? No, it folds up. And then we can attach onto that an ammo drum. If it wants to attach. Oh, that's not cool. One of my pieces that's supposed to be glued on just came unglued, so I'll have to glue that up real quick. I'm trying to get this to fit properly. And then we've got a little ammo chain here that'll go from that slot onto there to feed that all into there. And so if we take this and slap that into his hand, there we go. That's working now. Put that into there. Put that into there. Make sure everything stays attached. That's the tricky part. Put that into there. Keep that into there. I feel like I'm doing something wrong because not everything wants to connect off at the same time. And there is his big Gatling assortment that he had in this show. And the dude does a lot of damage with that. Despite this being like big and bulky and whatnot, he can hold it quite well. And it just looks great. He also has this cool like little grapple thing that comes out on a hook. This is on like a little metallic wire, so you can bend it around and it'll stay bent. So you can just like kind of like whoosh, put a little bit of wavy into that. Pull this part off, attach that back on. Then you can like grapple things. And that's cool. But you know what goes good with guns? More guns. But before that, I want to tell you about something else. I know I'm slipping this into the middle of the review instead of putting it at the front or the back. because that way, the people who actually watch through my reviews are the ones who's getting this information, and not just like any old schmuck who just like what turns it on and watches for 2 minutes and then goes away. So I'm giving away this movie right here, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I like this movie. I think it's a pretty good movie. And why not? I got this digital copy. I don't need it because I've got it on Blu-ray and DVD. So so I'm happy to give this to somebody. All you got to do if you want to get this movie, all you have to do is A, be subscribed to my channel, B, have one of your friends subscribe to my channel, and C, have your friend tell me who it was that got them into my channel. So you, right? So talk to your friend, have your friend subscribe, and then have your friend tell me who it is that got them to subscribe. You follow that, and you have an entry to win this. If your friend, by the way, wants to have a chance to get it as well, they just go through the same process. Have a friend of theirs subscribe, and then let me know who it was that did it. I'm going to do one entry per person. So I'm sure like it'll take like 2 seconds to figure out some great scheme to make a show so that everybody's got a chance for that. And yeah, just this what's underneath here can be all yours. But anyhow, that's my latest scheme. I buy movies periodically, and I don't ever do the digital download thing. And sometimes I throw them out on Facebook, be like, hey, who wants one of these? But it's usually somebody who doesn't even talk to me hardly ever. They just happen to be the first one along. So I'd rather give it to somebody who watches my channel. So there you go, guys. Get a free movie. Anyhow, as I was saying about other guns, this guy comes with an entire second gun assembly. And it's interesting when you're looking at this, because I was looking at this from a design perspective. It's a lot of the exact same parts, but just they're designed to be omnidirectional. They're designed to connect one way or the other, and it's really kind of clever when you get it all looked at and check it all out and see how it's all going and whatnot. It's super clever the way they did that to make things, omnidirectional. Let's see if I can get this to actually work. Yeah. Yeah. There are configurations I prefer on this that don't do the handle or the little ammo tank, that I think go on a lot easier. But I figured since I'm doing a full review of the figure, I might as well show the full functionality of it. And I try not to sugarcoat things too much around here. So if you look at this and be like, oh man, that freaking sucks, then maybe you might not like this. But if you look at that and be like, oh dude, that's freaking awesome, despite it being maybe a bit of a hassle to get it all put together, then yeah, dude, pick this up. It's a great figure. This is one of my more favorite robot Damashii figures, to be perfectly honest, because it's got great posability and it's got great design and it's got like the coolest, like there was never any canon where this guy comes with 2 Gatlings. It's just somebody in the design lab for Robot Damashii was like, you know what, this guy looks great, but you know what he really needs? More guns. And so yeah, he comes with, whoops, he fell over. Well, when you're wearing like 50 tons of guns, I'm sure that happens sometimes. But just really super awesome. I dig it. And of course, it doesn't really hinder the posability whatsoever at all. He still has, full posability. Everything all moves the way it should. Because of the range of motion on the ankles, like standing up is not a problem for him at all. You know, it's just all in terms of what you want to do with them and what kind of poses you want to get out of them. And you know, this figure's just completely badass. Anyhow, that's my review of the Robot Damashii Gouf Custom. It's a great figure. If you see it somewhere, you know, if you see it somewhere and you want to get it, pick it up. I got this one off Amazon a few years ago. And I've been going through my collection and seeing what can I review, what can I show off, what can be super cool that people might be interested in. This is something that I think that people might be interested in. But yeah, just I totally recommend it. Anyhow, everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are all great. Be sure to follow the instructions for my giveaway if you guys want a free movie. And I'll see you guys around. Have a great day and be awesome to each other. See ya.